Welcome to Insights into a Soul, the podcast that no one asked for. This is a podcast about life, love, and everything in between. So grab a cup of coffee and relax, and join me as we gain insights into a soul. What is up, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of Insights into a Soul, the podcast that no one asked for, but here we are. So, another solo episode today. Got a lot of podcast episodes that I've recorded in the past week or so. Those will be going up over time, bringing in some new guests and friends. Need to get some more female perspectives on the podcast, so working on that. And wanted to thank everyone for all of your continued support, your kind words, your motivation. I got a message the other day from someone, and I wanted to read this on the podcast. Let me find it here. Super unprepared for this. But here's the message. So, it said, loving your podcast, bro. Episode 3, talking about the importance of fighting, was powerful. The fight to feel, as I've come to think about it over the past couple of years, is real during tough stuff. Doesn't have to be positive emotions, just have to feel. No numbing. Thanks for fighting publicly. You're helping more people than you'll likely ever know. And if you're ever up for a drink or two, I'm game. Yes, I'm up for a drink or two. Thank you for the support, the kind words. It's, I started this podcast not with the intention of getting popular or, anything like that. It was a personal project and therapy for myself. And just in the few episodes that we've done, gotten a lot of positive feedback and finding out that I'm helping people, and that's exciting. So it's motivation to keep going, to keep fighting, to keep sharing my story, and to continue to look for new souls to gain insights to and talk with. Because I think at the end of the day, all of us, we long for community. We long for acceptance. We long to feel and to feel loved. So, yeah, that's my goal. So today's podcast, I wanted to do a solo one. It's been almost 6 months since the separation, since my wife left. And, I've shared my story with you guys from the time of her leaving, and kind of now. But I have a confession. I haven't been completely honest with everyone. What happened is true. All that is true. But I haven't given you guys the full story. And through a lot of introspection and wrestling and thinking, I feel like it's time to give you guys the other half of the story, the facts and the information that I've omitted until now, because I think it wasn't right. If I had done this before, I think I'd be coming from a place of hurt and frustration and possibly anger. But I'm in a good place now, I believe. And so this is coming from a place of, genuineness and openness, because my ultimate goal on this podcast is, and it's something I challenge everyone to do, is be genuine, be honest, be open. So a quick disclaimer, I'm going to omit names and specifics, and this is in no way, trying to paint my ex in a negative light. I think she's an amazing person. She's a loving person. She's great. She's the mother to my children, and I'm still, wanting to be great friends with her, amicable in our divorce. So yeah, just a quick disclaimer there. She's, this is not a reflection of her, anything to slander her character or anything, but you guys need to know the full story. I think it'll help you understand a little bit more about maybe my pain, my trauma. Those of you that are very close to me know this already, but it will also help you understand my struggle, and I think why I'm not healing necessarily the way that one should heal. So let's just back up. If you haven't heard the story of how I separated or the circumstances around that, go back to episode 1, my eulogy, listen to that, and it'll explain everything, separation and kind of everything up until now. So, I said before that my wife and I separated on mutual terms, and we did. It was a mutual separation. You know, we talked about it. We were at a good place. We, you know, with the knowledge I had then, it was a decision that we made together, that we agreed was the right decision. You know, she was kind of the initiator of it, and I thought about it, and she made the decision to leave. I agreed with her that was the right decision, I think, for everybody. And so we parted on good terms, in a mutual agreement. So this is going to be a little bit hard to talk about. Sorry. After she left, you know, within a couple days, it came to light that she had begun talking to another guy. This guy was a mutual acquaintance of ours. We had known him from a little while. And to give you some backstory on this person, when this person first came into our lives, I didn't have a good feeling about them. I get these feelings about people, and sometimes they're, you know, I think they're silly, but they turn out to be pretty accurate. So when this person came into our lives, I didn't have a great feeling, and I warned her about it. I said, listen, I trust you. You know, you're my wife. I trust you. I love you. I don't trust this guy. And please be careful around them, because I think they're going to do something at some point that will try to come between us. Had nothing to ground it on other than gut feeling and intuition. And so, you know, obviously she was okay, you know, I'll be, you know, careful, blah, 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 blah. Fast forward to us separating. Like I said, within a couple days after she left, I find out that they had begun talking in a very romantic way. And I had my suspicions that it had happened before that. So I confronted her about it, because I was like, hey, because even when we separated, I asked her, I was like, was this person a factor or an influence in your decision? And she says no. And, you know, all I can do is believe her, that it wasn't a factor, because I know she'd been thinking about it for a while, but personally, I believe that he was a catalyst or a factor in her decision. This is my opinion. You know, not to say she wasn't being honest, but I believe that there were things that were said, whether they were direct or subtly, to, you know, that maybe influenced her in making the decision faster. Or, yeah, hey, you know, there's this potential, this promise of someone new, so I'm going to make the decision to leave what I'm in to see if this new thing is what I want. Not saying that's the fact. That's just how I feel. Anyway, it came to light that they had been talking, and I confronted her about it. Called her, and we talked. I was a little upset at the time, because, you know, I'd been told that there was no conversation. This person wasn't a factor. None of that was happening. And here I am finding out that this conversation had begun. So whether or not it began before or after, that I don't know. At this point. And so I was like, okay, well, you know, I asked her, just please don't rush into anything with this person. Take time to heal. Work on yourself. And part of me, too, is just wanted her to take time to work on herself, because I know she needs to heal. We all need to heal. So fast forward to a week to the day from when she left. Running some errands, and I happened to go a different way out of the shopping center that I don't normally go. And as I'm turning around, I see this person's car in the parking lot. I was like, huh, interesting. So, for whatever reason, I drove by their car, and they were sitting in the car. I pull up to the spot next to them, get out. Now, mind you, this person and I were acquaintances. You know, it wasn't like we were complete strangers. So, you know, even after she left, this person reached out to me and was checking in on me. Hey, man, how you doing? Everything okay? Like, how you holding up? Blah, 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 blah. You know, being the friend thing. And so I get out of the car, and they get out of the car, and I don't think they know that I know at this point. But I get out of the car, and they're like, hey, you know, how you doing, man? How you holding up? I'm like, all right, let's cut the crap. I know what's going on. And confronted them about it, and I was like, man, what the heck? Like, what are you thinking? You know, I know that you guys are talking. I'm like, she just left. Like, the day after I left, I find this out. Or the day after she left, I find this out. And so he was like, oh, well, kind of trying to backpedal and give answers and stuff. And I asked him straight up, I was like, dude, what's the deal? And he's like, well, I've got feelings for her and she has feelings for me. So, yeah, we're talking. And, I was like, so please let me ask you, what in your mind makes this okay? Like, how long have you guys been talking? And then he informed me that they had been talking in a I don't want to say deeply romantic way, but in a romantic way, about relationships and stuff like that. And I think expressing feelings for each other. They had been talking for a while before she made the decision to leave. I don't know how long fully, but he did inform me that she came to him before she made the decision to leave and professed that she had feelings for him. And, so then I asked him, I was like, dude, what in the hell makes you think this is okay? We were married. I thought things were great and things were getting better. And he says, well, this is his reasoning. Well, man, she's just a real catch, and she's a great woman. Anybody would like you to have her. And I think I just wanted what you had. I saw something that someone else had and I wanted it. It's still not justification to me. So he goes on to say, well, we're going to take it slow. Cause I was like, dude, give her time, give her space. She needs to heal. And, I also told him to, hey, if you pursue anything further, those are my daughters and you're going to have to deal with me. I'm present in their lives and I'm going to be active in their lives. So, get it together because I'm not going anywhere. So, we ended the conversation. I told him no hard feelings because I really don't harbor any hard feelings towards him. He even said, I wouldn't be surprised if you just wanted to punch me in the face right now. I'm not that kind of person. So I shook his hand, gave him a bro hug, and we parted ways and haven't really talked since then. Oh, the best part, though, is during this conversation, he told me, that she had come to him and expressed that, I guess we were having difficulties or that she wasn't happy, something along those lines. And he even told me that he was rooting for us. He was rooting for me that things would work out and we would stay together, which I believe is a load of crap because he clearly made it known that he wanted what I had. So while he might not have had any direct influence, I would challenge it in saying, you've got to have said along the lines of, you deserve better, or, I would never do that to you, blah, blah, blah. I don't know. Again, that's all speculation, but in situations like this, those are very common things that are said. So finding that out and finding out that they had professed these feelings for each other before she even told me she was leaving, that they had been having conversations like this, sends me into a spiral of, oh crap, what can I believe and what isn't true that she tells me? I assume the best, and I want to assume the best in a person, and I want to believe that she's being fully honest and forthcoming. But now, she kept that from me, and what else is she keeping from me? So that, when you separate from someone, it's like a surgery. You have a clean cut down the middle, and if everything's amicable and mutual, you can sever the ties, and there's still a fresh wound. And it's going to take time for that wound to heal, but it's a clean cut, a surgical cut that you can heal. In the proper channels, you can heal well over time. So for me, I feel like what happened is that surgical cut began, and it's cutting through our relationship. We're working on separating and becoming our own people again, and this and that. And then I find this out, and the cut stops there, and you just take each side and you just rip it open from there. You rip it apart. And so it's no longer a clean tear, it's a clean cut. It's ripped flesh. And as you know, a tear, something like that, something that's mauled, that's damaged, doesn't heal the same. It's harder to patch up. It's harder to heal, and it takes longer. And oftentimes it hurts worse because you're not cutting the clean stuff. You're cutting into, the tissues, the nerves. You're cutting into everything. So for me, that's what happened at that point. I was gutted. I was a mess. I was ripped apart. And it still hurts when I go back and think about it. I'm getting better. It doesn't hurt as much. But I go back and I think, like, wow, what happened? So then all these feelings and questions of why wasn't I good enough? Could I have done something different? Could I have said things differently? Would my marriage still be together if this person hadn't come into our lives? And then, and so people ask me often, well, do you guys want to get back together? I'm going to throw this out there too, guys. This same type of thing happened 10 years ago when we separated our first time. Similar situation, a mutual person that we knew. That person came into our lives, and I guess we've been in a rough place for a long time, obviously. But that person came into our life as well and told her at that time that, she deserved better and he could be better. And he was making a plan, from what I remember, to come actually pick her up and live a life with her. So we separated at that time. But that time I fought to get her back. I wanted her back. I realized I wasn't being a great husband, or I could have done better, and so I was fighting. This time, when she separated, she told me she hadn't been happy for the past 10 years since that time. So I knew it was time to separate, to sever the ties. But then I find it out again. So people often ask me, hey, do you want to get back together with her? And they don't know the full story. They know that we separated. It was on good terms. All of that's true. But they don't know the other side of it. I've really debated on this a lot. I still love her. There's days when I want her back. I miss her. She was my best friend, my everything for 13 years, the mother to my children. And there's days when I want her back. I want her to come back. I hope some days that she'll, deep down inside, mind you, I hope some days that she'll pick up the phone and she'll call me and be like, hey, I want to come back and I want to try again. And my friends have challenged me long and hard, and I've thought on this. If that day ever happened, I don't think it will, would I take her back? And I think the honest answer is no. No. The heart wants to be with her, wants to love her, wants to have connection. But the soul, the mind, the logical side of me is like, no. Because I honestly don't know if I could ever fully trust her again. Not because I don't want to, not because I don't think she can change and that she is a good person, she is an honest person, but I don't think that the hurt and the scars will ever fully go away. I think the minute something goes wrong or things get rough again, I'm going to be wondering, is she talking to someone else? What am I doing wrong? Am I not good enough? I lost myself in our marriage, and that's my fault for not maintaining myself, for not working on me. But I think that if we tried again, there would always, it's unfair to her, it's unfair to me, that there's always going to be that voice in the back of my head of like, can I trust her? When's it going to drop? When's it going to fall off again? Because I think that happened from the first time we separated to this time, the current separation, the final separation, if you will, that I struggled. There were times when I was wondering, am I good enough? When's she going to leave again? And in arguments and fights, you even say things like that, like, maybe you should just go because I'm clearly not what you want, or I'm not good enough. All those things are not good things to say to anybody, because it's not your decision for them to leave. It's their decision ultimately. And if you're good enough for them, that's for them to decide. You can only be the best you can be, and they have to make the decision for themselves if you're what they want. But, it came up. So over time, that was a recurring thing. And ultimately it did happen again. And I think that's why, no, I wouldn't be able to go back with her, because there's too much hurt and pain. So it's like, and this brings us on to the topic of healing, that I don't know. Healing is different to each person. I actually wrote something the other day. Let me pull this up here while I'm talking. But healing is interesting. It's different to everybody. because healing looks different. It's based on the person, and everybody can heal in different times, and healing looks different. Like, not thinking about the person every day is healing. Maybe being able to talk to the person again is healing. Maybe being able to move on and find someone else is healing. It's all different. So I wrote this. I said, healing. What does healing look like? We all heal differently, and it happens at different paces. I don't know if we ever fully heal, even after the scars and memories are there. I think healing looks like, to me, that we have moved on from the situation, that it no longer has control over us. We aren't constantly thinking about it. We've made peace with it, but it's never completely gone. Sometimes days, months, or years down the road, something will happen and we will be reminded of it. Pain will still be there, but we'll get over it faster. It won't control our life. It won't dictate our actions, and it won't tell us what to feel or how our emotions should go. So to me, that's what healing is. Healing is that we get to a point where the memories never go away. We never forget things. But I think I'm healing because I have memories of her and of things, but it doesn't linger as long. I'm not floored for days. It happens. I'm sad. I move on. I still cry about it, but I'm able to move on quicker. I'm able to say, you know what? No, I'm good. This is the right course of action. This is the right direction. So what does healing look like for you? Maybe healing is the same thing. It's been years. It's been months, and you're able to not be sad or not be weighed down by the things that have happened to you. And I think that's where I am. That's, it's, you have the scars. Like when I was young, I got hit in the face with a golf club, split my face open. I almost died. No exaggeration, but I had to have full reconstructive surgery on my side of the face, and I've still got the scar there, and it doesn't hurt anymore. It's actually numb, but it's one of those things, like, the scar is still there. You can still feel it. The memories are still there. It doesn't bother me anymore. I don't think about it like, oh, I'm not, like, super paranoid. I think that does actually contribute a little bit to my paranoia of being touched in the face, which is weird, but that's a whole nother topic about paranoias. But, it's healed, but the scars are still there. It's still visible. You get cut, you get hurt, you break a leg. The leg is never the same. The bone is never the same. The person is never the same. So if you're broken, you're hurt, you're scarred, you'll never be the same. But that doesn't mean that you can't function, that you can't be better, that you can't improve. I think that's the thing, the beauty of humans, is that we can be hurt, we can be broken, we can be beaten, we can be scarred, and we can heal and become better versions of ourselves. We can use pain, we can use hurt to propel ourselves forward and to be better people, to be better versions of ourselves. We learn from these things. We say, a kid touches a hot stove, hopefully they don't touch it again because they realize, oh man, that hurts, I don't want to mess with it anymore. And not unhealthy fears that keep us from doing things, but using these traumas, these experiences, so that you know how to avoid being hurt. Hey, that didn't work. Let's not do that again. Let's try something different. Let's do it differently. And that's the beauty of it, guys. If you've been hurt, if you're hurting, know that it won't last forever. Things are going to change. Things will get better. Things are going to heal, and it might be messy. It might take a while. It might not look pretty. But at the end of the day, you can heal if you allow yourself to heal. If you find people that you can surround yourself with that will help you mend those wounds and clean those wounds and support you and carry you when you don't have the strength to be carried. That's what my friends have done for me. They've carried me in the darkness. They've supported me, and they've shown me that it's okay, that I'm not dead. I'm still here, guys. That, joy comes in the morning, and you hear, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, and all this stuff, it's so true. That, whether you believe in God or whatever, believe in something. Believe in yourself, and you can make it through this darkness, this dark time. I know I have. It's not over. I'm not done yet. But the horizon is there. I can see it. And I hope you can too. For the past 2 weeks, I haven't slept well. I've had nightmares for almost 2 weeks now. And I was going to talk about it on the podcast, and that was going to be kind of the focus of the podcast, but all of this stuff came to light, and this revelation, we recorded some stuff the other night with a group of people, and I just felt that in my heart that it was time to give you the other side of my story to help you better understand and maybe relate. And I realized that my healing process looks different because I don't have direct conversations with her, because I need to let her have her space and heal. And so in my dreams, she's been in them almost every day. And a few days ago, I had a dream that she was in, that she wouldn't even look at me or talk to me. And I think that was the internal representation of how I'm feeling with her right now. We still talk. We still talk about the kids and make plans and stuff, all that. But we don't talk about the deep stuff. We don't talk about the separation, the hurt. So I think that was a representation of that. And then the other night, I had a dream, and this one was all out, talking about the situation. It was almost like we had gotten back together and we were trying again, and it was that distrust. I could feel it. It was still there, that concern, that worry. So I think that was myself finalizing inside, saying, yeah, I can't do this again. I love you, but it's not going to work. And I'm not, and I haven't been sitting around waiting for her to come back. Just so you guys know, I am moving on. I'm living my life. So now I'm trying to figure out, what does my future look like? Do I want to love again? Because when we open ourselves up to love, we open ourselves up to hurt and to the possibility of hurt. And maybe that's not a bad thing, but we learn. I've learned from this. I've learned how to be a better husband, I hope. How to be a better father. How to be a better friend. So I am learning things. I'm continuing to learn things. And I really do hope that she heals and finds the peace. And that she continues to become a better version of herself. The version she wants to be. And I hope the same for me. I hope that I continue to move on and grow. It's really been laid on my heart to even write a book, and I think it's something I'm going to start doing. Just don't fully know how it's going to be structured or what it's going to be about, but I think it's something I need to do. So, ending on a positive note, I kind of gave you a lot of positive talk at the end there, I hope. But just, you're going to heal. Allow yourself to heal. Surround yourself with people that will allow you to heal, and not people that are going to hold you back or that are going to feed the negativity or the bad thoughts. But surround yourself with people that are going to help you heal, that are going to help you become the best version of yourself, that'll hold you up in the darkness. And that's my challenge to you this week, guys. My challenge to you is, let yourself be healed. Allow yourself to be loved. Allow yourself to cry and to work through it and to become a better person through the situation. Again, thank you for all the support. My goal on this podcast is to be authentic and genuine and open. And as I've said before, I'll say it again, this is in no way meant to paint her out to be a bad person. I don't think that she is at all. I love her. I think she's great. She's got a great heart. We all make mistakes or we do things differently. And, only she can speak to the why. But I just, I don't want her to be seen negatively. So just, that's the disclaimer, guys. Thank you for your understanding in this. Thank you for encouraging me and giving me the motivation to be open and to be honest and to be authentic and genuine and to talk about things. So until next time, thanks for tuning in. Make sure you like and subscribe. We are on all podcasting platforms now, still waiting on the iHeartRadio approval. But make sure you go and leave reviews, please. It pushes us up to the top. Let's get this thing up so other people can hear it. Let's get the word out. Let's get insights into a soul, because there's so many hurting people out there in this world, And I want to help people. I want us to help people, to all be able to share our hurt and our pain and our experiences with the world so that they can be healed. They can find, their voice, their soul, and get insights into their souls, because we all have a soul and we all want to help each other in this journey called life. If you have comments, encouragement, whatever, email insightsintoasoul@gmail.com. You can find me on Instagram @TaurinH, TAURINH. The link will be below in the description. You can find us everywhere on all platforms, Facebook as well. You can send me a message on Facebook too, Insights Into a Soul. Going to be launching a website soon and thinking into getting some blogging. Some, I don't know if there'll be daily thoughts, gosh, because that's a lot to get out. But we got some stuff coming your way, new year, making this thing happen. Energized, encouraged. We got several podcasts already in the recordings that are going to be pushed out over the next few weeks. I got some guests coming in to record some more stuff. Like I said, need to get more female presence and opinions on here. So if you want to be on the show, send me a message. Send me your story. Let's talk. And until next time, thanks for tuning in. See you guys later. Thanks for joining us on this episode of Insights Into a Soul. If you enjoyed this podcast, make sure to like and subscribe and to share it with your friends. Make sure to follow us on Facebook, Insights Into a Soul, on Instagram @TaurinH, and if you have suggestions for future episodes or topics, or if you'd like to be on the podcast, contact us, insightsintoasoul@gmail.com.